Members of Rhyl Folk Club have contacted me to say how much they admire this man and have asked me to write a tribute song about this great man in the style of how he greets them at Rhyl Zoom Folk Club meetings. This song is called Unknown Folk Singer in Rhyl Town and is dedicated to this great man who is lovingly known as John Shepherd. And I put the chorus in the
I
chat.
don't live in Rhyl, I live in Cheshire.
Oh, wow.
I've got out, I've escaped.
Okay. Anyway, the unknown folk singer in Rhyl Town. They say that John Shepherd's life is so much sweeter through the telephoto lens of fame. Around it, John's singing gets just as much attention as cheering at a real football club game. John dreamed of seeking fame and fortune by going to London town, and John put his money down at the railway station, but Leslie disapproved and said he was a clown. And John earned his first £1 when he went to town wearing a red rosette, and John made the front page of the Rhyl Town Gazette. And then the chorus. Every folk singer with ambition and a rural heart has got a story to tell. John's grandma, in-laws and ex-girlfriends maybe knows it just a little too well. And when John is late for the Rhyl Zoom Folk Club evenings, he is probably stuck again in jail. Word about John is gonna get around because John, the folk singer, lives unknown in Rhyl Town. John tried to get his face known in every folk singing music magazine, but John had been an unknown folk singer in Rhyl Town since he was 17. John went down to the bus station to busk and earn some cash and put on his tight yellow jeans. And John sang his heart out at the bus station, but the local residents said he was the worst singer they had ever seen. John took his wife to a dinner dance recently, and she looked lovely in her ball gown. But when John offered to sing a folk song, he was politely asked to sit down. John got annoyed that his talent was ignored and said they should go and take a jump. And the bouncers threw him out and gave him a hell of a thump. Every folk singer with ambition and a rural heart has got a story to tell. John's grandma, in-laws and ex-girlfriends maybe know it just a little too well. And when John is late for the Rhyl Zoom Folk Club evenings, he is probably stuck again in jail. Word about John is gonna get around because John, the folk singer, lives unknown in Rhyl Town. John opens the Rhyl Zoom Folk Clubs with a cheery scream, and it is the busiest audience that his singing talent has ever seen. At Rhyl Zoom Folk Club, a frustrated John insults everyone guest by guest, and happy clappy Waitrose boy Mike Davis has a low-strung guitar and shows his hairy chest. John's singing has been likened to the sound of a drill in a dentist's chair, and last time Jeff Durno heard him singing, he started ripping out his hair. In attempt to drown him out, his wife Leslie plays the fiddle, and John gets upset with his wife and rushes off to have a piddle. Every folk singer with ambition and a rural heart has got a story to tell. John's grandma, in-laws and ex-girlfriends maybe knows it just a little too well. And when John is late for the Rhyl Zoom Folk Club evenings, he is probably stuck again in jail. Word about John is gonna get around because John, the folk singer, lives unknown in Rhyl Town. Alan Manouch said John was the sweetest man he had ever known, except when he was insulting him again. Alan Rhys-Jones said John was a man to be admired, and especially if he gets a new brain. Brian Carter said John was the nicest and most handsome man in the world, and a great Facebook friend. And Terry Hiscock said John's great guitar playing had inspired him to improve no end. At a recent Rhyl folk club evening, broke up with a fight. The police were called and John was arrested and taken from the site. We heard later John was caught red-handed with his trousers down. That's what the police led us to believe, as Leslie was seen to frown. Every folk singer with ambition and a rural heart has got a story to tell. John's grandma-in-laws and ex-girlfriends maybe know it just a little too well. And when John is late for the Real Zoom Folk Club evenings, he is probably stuck again in jail. Word about John is gonna get around, because John the folk singer lives unknown in Rhyl Town. Yes, John Shepherd the folk singer lives unknown in Rhyl Town.
You've got too much time on your hands, Brian.
A test of endurance, that one.
Mind you, the bit about Terry Hiscock was
was
right.
brilliant.
A tribute song.
Oh, lovely.
That was brilliant.
Oh, Brian, thank you, Brian.